What's up guys, TC here, and welcome back to Let's Play Starbound. So from the last episode, if you guys remember, we were underground, super deep in a planet. We actually found a really rare planet with no core or whatever. So from that episode, I spent probably took 30 minutes, I think, almost to dig out of that planet. But on my way up from that planet, I sat down on Halloween and actually played quite a bit. And it came to my mind, like, we've spent quite a few episodes now exploring planets or whatever, and checking out what's in our local galactic group. And so I decided we could do a little bit of building. And so I sat down and I thought, I was like, what's the most useful item or build that we could use right now? And so I came up, I think we needed a storage unit. So I searched out and found a planet. And so my idea that I had for this build, and I went ahead and I got about 2/3 of it done, maybe, from what I want, just to kind of get the gist of it. And so I went and collected a shitload of materials, and we're going to beam down and take a look at it. It's just a large storage facility, and the idea I wanted to it was I wanted like a cold storage feel to it, So you'll see it's down here. It's actually I'm super proud of it. Like, for me, building in survival, this is like crazy. Like, I know this isn't like massive compared to a lot of people's stuff, but this is what I've got of it so far. You'll see if we drop down, I have nothing from this point on. But so I'd like to at least make it double this size, at least 2 more layers, possibly 3 more. And I'd like to, ideally I would label either each individual room is going to be some kind of storage thing, or just each individual layer. So I might just do like weapons here, blocks here, and blah blah blah. I haven't quite worked out what I'm going to do, but it's pretty easy to expand. And you see it uses pretty common blocks, especially on this planet. Getting these ice blocks isn't too hard. And you'll also see I've been using the bioluminescent rock from our luminescent mines. And so up here is where I want to put our teleporter eventually. So basically you'll just beam in and be able to walk down, and this will be just give us a crap load of space to store things. So I wanted to go ahead and get in today and start actually continuing on this while we chat about some other things. Because there's a whole lot going on in my real life that I need to... Basically I have to handle them first before I can go through and handle other stuff. Let's get all these items I need back up in here. There it is. So, essentially what's going on is I want to do the YouTube thing full time, but in the meantime I have to pay I have to pay bills, I have to pay rent and stuff like that. And it's looking like at this point that I'm going to have to get a new job. And what that's going to mean for the channel as a whole, let's see, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Sorry. What that's going to mean for the channel as a whole, though, is that we might start seeing a slowdown in videos, and it's not something that can really help. Ah, crap. Mainly in this series, like, I want to keep doing the LP, but look at it from my perspective of like how much time it takes to do each episode, and like I really enjoy doing the LP, but it takes the most time to record, and it also gets the least amount of views on my channel. So for me, the one thing that would go first is going to be the LP. Now I'm going to try to, for the next month at least, try to keep this up at least once per week. Uh-oh, nope. Whoa, come on, buddy, back up. Whoop. Yeah, get some. So, like I was saying, I was going to try to keep it at 1 per week. I know there was a time period where I told you guys that I was going to try to do 2 per week, and that was all going well for a while, but then, I've got, some of you may or may not know, I've got a couple of medical issues that I have to pay these bills on, and they are not cheap. And at this point, I can't afford to really wait around anymore. I really have to get things done. So it's pretty much at this point meaning I'm going to have to get a new job. And the advantage of my current job is that I'm a fitness trainer right now, so I have pretty loose job hours. It lets me kind of, build my own schedule. And I'm not working a typical 9 to 5. So I have plenty of time in my day that I can usually come home and fit in some extra hours or some extra time or something like that that doesn't really... Uh-oh, wait a second. That doesn't really take up too much time from the channel. So, and what I'm probably going to be getting a more traditional job. Can I not get these really? A much more traditional job, something on the line of like marketing or sales, I don't know. But I have to have a better paying job because these medical bills I have are kind of ridiculous. And if you don't know, I'm American, so we have this really crappy healthcare system. So I have to just kind of, it's not fair and it's not fun, but it's something I have to take care of. But in the meantime, I also wanted to chat about, the future of Starbound, because things are going to be, I'm not sure if you've been keeping up, but, Starbound's changing in itself. I think they just put out a really nice dev blog the other day, kind of highlighting, like, what we can expect to see in the future, like, what kind of changes we're going to be seeing coming in the coming dates. One of the, let's see, is this, yeah, this is this stuff. So they highlighted what I was talking about earlier with the, dang it, what's it called, the story mode update. And the story mode update is going to be coming in right after the combat update. Now, it is my understanding that the combat update is almost done. From what I understand, though, they're pretty much almost done with the combat update. There won't be much more stuff implemented, which a little off-putting. I mean, it was really nice to see that we're actually finally reaching that, like, fabled 1.0 actual release date. That's really cool and all, and I really like to, like, it's really exciting that the game is going to be finally finished, but it's going to mean different things for the channel, because it's, like, pretty much the story mode update is not going to be something I'm going to be able to show off as often in the nightly, because, like, when it's in the, we're doing this kind of combat stuff, we're going to have, there's all kinds of stuff I could show you guys with each little, individual update, but the story mode update, I have a feeling, is going to be a little bit different. The channel itself might slow down as a whole. So, I just want to let you guys know on that, but anyways, I'm going to get back to focusing on this build here, because I feel like Starbound, I don't know what it is. In Minecraft, I feel like I could build and chat and it not be a problem, but with how, like, hard it is to keep up with the blocks or whatever, like, because the blocks are so tiny in this game, it's sometimes really easy. Wait, where? There it is. Let's get this highlighted. There we go. So, actually a good question for today, because this is something that I wanted to figure out. Oh man, we're running out of these. Oh no, we're not. Something I wanted to figure out, because I'm not entirely sure how I want to handle this, is, like, what do you guys think the best way for storage organization is? So, like, do you organize things like what do you, like, do you buy them by blocks? Like, do you guys have them set up by, like, oh, I've got a layer for guns and I've got a thing for, or do you have them more specific, like, oh, here's melee weapons only, or this is for guns, or this is blocks? I'm at this point, I'm open to anything, because there's so many items in Starbound. It's easy to get overwhelmed. So for me, I'm trying to come up with a cool categorization system to kind of keep track of everything. But I would be really interested to see what other people have come up with. Dang it! I don't want to lose any of these blocks. It's such a pain in the butt. But yeah, I think this will be nice. Once we get this completed, I think we have enough doors on us, right? We got a few more doors. All right. There's that. There we go. Yeah. So I would like to hear what everyone else has for their storage, because for me, I'm open to anything. I went through so many different iterations. I actually went into creative mode on my other account and tried to toy around with some designs. That's kind of how I came to this initial idea here. And I'm still not entirely sure if I want to go with this whole thing. This whole thing here. I was kind of thinking about maybe knocking off these top containers and putting individual signs on each one, but then that cuts in half the storage space, And I could put containers here, like this, but then it, I don't know, something doesn't look right about it. So I kind of settled with this design here, and the whole concept is just like, it's like an ice world, and this is a big, like, cold facility to kind of keep everything in, like, a kind of a stasis, like, situation. So you guys let me know what you think. This is probably, as far as, like, survival goes, one of the larger builds I've made. And obviously I'm building with material I have a lot of. It's not hard to get. Like, getting healing water wasn't hard. We have these trees that grow this metal stuff, so we have a ton of this crap. We're a little short on the hazard block, because this has all been from upgrading our ship or whatever. And that I found one micro dungeon that had these hazard blocks in it. But ideally, I'm just gonna make at least one more, probably two more, and depending on what we decide to go with on the how we're gonna, like, categorize things, like, storage-wise. 3, 4, 6. Yeah, so how we're gonna categorize things is gonna depend on how many layers we actually put. Dang it! I didn't think that through very well. Gotta be more thoughtful in how I do this stuff. There we go. But yeah, so I was wondering how your Halloween was. I know mine, things are pretty crazy down here in Florida, just because it's so, it's just how Florida is, I don't know. But it was nice to sit down on Halloween and build a little bit, kind of get something started. I didn't want to just completely start on camera with you guys with like nothing, because I feel like I need to have like an idea already established. Hey, there we go. I feel like I need to have an idea already established, because it's really hard to like be creative and chat with you guys at the same time. Or at least it's a struggle with me. Maybe you guys can do it, and I'm just retarded. But for me, I need to have like a kind of a bit of a guideline to help keep me going, because it's hard to just like for me to just chat about random things while also building and keeping things in order, because with how tiny these blocks are, it's so easy to like mismeasure stuff. So anyways, what was I going? I had something pretty particular I wanted to talk about today, but I'm not quite sure what it was. So this is part of the problem. Like, I would love to be full-time in YouTube, but I have to go into damn work every day, and always I have like the greatest ideas when I'm at work, and then I come home and I'm like exhausted for the day, and I'm pretty much spent. And yeah, I can, I can sometimes get up early in the mornings and do an extra episode or to record an episode, but I find it like makes me really, really inefficient at work. Because I, like with personal training, oh no, okay. I thought we mismeasured there for a second. With personal training, one of the bigger aspects I think people underestimate is that you have to be like really, really high energy. You have to be like, you've got to be like motivational. You have to like, everyone's going to wake up and the last thing they want to do is go and run and work out. For me, I don't have a problem with it, but most people struggle with finding that self-motivation. So if you're going to be a trainer, you have to, you have to motivate people to better themselves, and part of that is being kind of high energy with people. And in person, I'm a pretty high energy guy, but when I'm at home alone, kind of relaxing, I tend to be a lot more relaxed and chill, because it's just kind of, I don't know, it's easy to kind of outdo yourself yelling all the time. Can I fill this all in? Yeah, let's fill that in. So for me, it's nice to get home and get to do something, different. It's not quite the exact same. And oh man, there's so much snow here to fill in. Do we have enough? We might. But yeah, and what the training is, it pays well, but it doesn't pay consistently, is I guess the best word for it. Like, I might have a good month, and I might have a really, really bad month. And that's what I don't like. And at this point, like, for those of you who don't know, I had a heart condition I was struck with in, what's it, January, March, I guess? Yeah, so I had a heart condition, and it put me in the hospital for 7 days. And my insurance, basically, I got brought to the hospital on in an ambulance. And for those of you who don't know how American healthcare system works, is you have to pay for your insurance or whatever. But then there's like, your insurance is, it's kind of like, you have in and out of network doctors. So like, certain doctors are not or are covered by your insurance, right? So you have to make sure the doctor you go to is covered by them. And so it's all fine and dandy. It's actually not that big of a pain in the butt. But then when little things like what happened to me, so for me, I got brought in on an ambulance, so I didn't get to choose which hospital I got brought in on, right? And it turns out the ambulance brought me into a hospital that I was not covered on, right? They weren't in my network. And so what that meant was I had to, I didn't have, like, you would normally get a case manager that would tell you, hey, you're not in the right hospital. So, like, maybe you'd pay the first day you were there, you'd pay a huge sum or whatever, a huge penalty fee or whatever to have that first day. But then you would leave, like you would get out, like whatever, like, you don't want to stay there. You'd be transferred to a hospital you are in network with, right? And for me, I was never told that I was in the wrong hospital. Like one of the nurses that I originally chatted with said that it was marked on there that I agreed to it, but one of the problems is when I was put in the hospital, I was immediately put on morphine for pain. Because, I passed out in the hospital, like being brought in and everything, so for me, it's just like a big blur. So it's not really, it's actually illegal to get someone's consent when they're under medication. So, like, the issue right now is I'm fighting a big legal battle, and that I don't want to, I feel that I shouldn't be charged for all this stuff. Like I have, let me just put it this way. I have almost $50,000 worth of debt to pay off because I spent a week, oh goodness, is this all gonna, oh, that's gonna lag. Oh no, it's not too bad. But basically I have, almost 50K worth of debt that I have to find a way to pay off, all because of a really, really crappy healthcare system. And it was something, it was entirely not my fault in any way. Like I had to write in an appeal form to my insurance, And this has been going on for months now. It's like, it's such a pain in the butt to get into contact with the right person, because no one wants to take blame for it. You know, no one wants to pony up the money to help pay it. Even though I was paying for over a year. I was paying my monthly dues, like what I was supposed to pay, and there was no issues until as soon as sorry, I've got a fly in my face. So the problem is now that I've got all this just debt, man, and I don't. You know, personal training was paying the bills fine, and now at this point I can't afford it anymore. Or I can. It's just training doesn't pay consistently. You know, you might have a good month, you might have a bad month, and particularly in the winter or the fall. Here, people tend to go to the gym less. That's just kind of how it works. Most of the time, people get they get kind of worked up when it comes to like late winter, going into spring. They want to get that beach body, so they start going. They get gym memberships, whatever. They go hire a personal trainer. That tends to be the most profitable time, is the fall and the spring. Well, I'm sorry, not fall. Spring and summer tends to be the most profitable times. And here in Florida, you know, we have very, very long summers and very, very short winters, but still, it hits it pretty hard. Like, your income takes a huge hit over the course of the winter. And at this point, I can't afford to keep doing what I'm doing. I can't afford to pay these bills. Because the other thing is, they can attack your credit for it. And for those of you who don't know, like, if you don't have a good credit score, you pretty much can't do anything in the world. Or at least not in America. And it's a crappy system, and I don't agree with it, but I'm working with the cards I was dealt. So there you go. You guys know something extra personal about me now. There are a lot of people I know in real life that don't know about this, but I don't know. It was quite an experience. It was part of the reason that I started to step back into Starbound in the first place, was that I was inside all the time after that initial incident happened. I wasn't able to do anything. You know, after that heart incident, I wasn't like able to elevate my heart rate. I wasn't able to exercise. I wasn't able to do anything. I wasn't even able to, like, I couldn't even, like, laugh and have fun. If my heart rate jumped too high, I could die. Shit. I'm retarded. I'm retarded. Oh my god. Does everyone see? I'm sure you guys have been watching your screen this whole time, yelling at me for being such a big dope, because this whole time, this needed to be done. Oh my god. I am retarded. See, this is what happens when I go on a big tangent like that, and I start talking about my personal life. Urgh. Dang it. Okay, well, let's try to repair the damages. Looks like we might get in this last layer for the day. Let's put in the background layer. And I'm pretty sure that this healing water, this actually gives off light, doesn't it? Like, very, very lightly. Or it just glows well, I don't know. But yeah, it looks pretty cool to me. And now let's get this. Dang it, I'm so mad. I thought I was so on point, and then I stopped for 1 second to take a look back, and huge glaring flaw in the build. Wonderful. Okay, so here we go. I mean, it wasn't too big of a goof up. We just got to knock out the floor below us. So let's put this here. There we go. Now we can put these. That's where they're going to go. There we go. Now we just got to knock the floor out. Okay. That's not too bad. Rah. Okay. Man, I can only imagine what you guys were screaming the whole time while I was like off on some random tangent. Like, quick, you're being retarded. Building on camera is harder than I thought it would be. You have to like plan a little bit, you know? At least when I'm adventuring, it's a little bit more just sporadic, like stuff just happens and there's no real orderly game plan. Most of the stuff that happens when you're exploring is just kind of intuitive, you know? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, what is this? 5, 6, okay, so we got one more layer deep here. There we go. No! There we go. Man, I don't know about you guys, I can't stand blocks with gravity, man. Just, it's so, something about it's so annoying to have to constantly, like, it's like when it cascades down, it just gets so frustrating. Like, I know it probably brings plenty to, oh, what the, come on now. Okay, there we go. So, this will help me kind of keep myself in line. put in that load there to help kind of keep me on track, so the next time I don't make that same damn mistake. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to probably build this off camera once today's episode ends, and hopefully when we come back to the next episode I will be far enough along. And what I need you guys to help me out with is the suggestion on how you guys do your categorization, like how do you keep things organized, because for me that's really going to be probably the next major step. You know, we've got maybe one more layer, maybe two at most, which won't take too long off camera to build. And so the next big portion is getting the categorization in order, because I'll need to go down to the outposts and make some signs or whatever, and that whole thing, or yeah, that whole ordeal is gonna have to be handled. You know, it's something you have to plan. That's not something you can just kind of work with. But I want to get this last. That's gonna bug me. I need to get this. I want to get this last layer before this episode's up, though. So hold on. Blah 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 blah. That. That. There we go. Wait. Let's make this. Okay. Let's go ahead and make that just so I don't goof up again. There we go. That helps kind of get me in line. Yeah, I think we're on the right track now. There we go. That wasn't too big of a goof up. So what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I'll probably add one more layer to the bottom. And it's not like it's really that hard to add another layer. Like if we were to just cut it off right here, it wouldn't be that hard to add an extra layer on the bottom. But I think I'm pretty content with this size here. So what I'm probably going to go ahead and do is in the meantime, I think I'm going to try to, let's see, probably need to go buy a teleporter, and then probably I need to make a lot more of these cargo crates to fill this thing in with, because each one of these things takes is 6, you know. That's 12 layers, yeah, so we only have enough for like one more layer here. And then what I was thinking at the very bottom, so say this was the last layer, I was thinking about like one little small, like extra secret storage spot right here maybe. Some kind of like high security, maybe where we put our ore, I don't know. But anyways, you guys let me know in the comments. I'm very interested to see how you guys do your organization. So that's going to be it for today's episode, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please rate, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later.